Hi guys, how are you? So I'm just going to make a little video of the KTM 390 Adventure. I'm also going to do a mileage check in this. So as you can see, the bike is quite dominating. I think you've already seen my walk around video of this. I'll just add it before or after this video, and let's talk about how it runs. So as you can see, the bike, it's a tall bike. It's taller than your 850mm. I think it's as tall as a Tiger, so which is a decently tall bike. And as you can see, it likes to be revved. Of course, that's why it's always ready to race. So I mean, yeah, probably. So anyway, I'm going to highlight the features in this video. So because the bike is tall, you can kind of see everything in front of you, which is like great. But I was stuck in a traffic jam yesterday. I could see above the cars, so it feels actually like you're sitting in an SUV. Then of course the 390cc, it's a 47-48 bhp. That's more than enough power for one person. For a pillion, yeah, probably if you're light, I'm sure it'll do the job. But of course, not as good as with one person, because of course the weight will be less. I think probably for a pillion, an Interceptor would do a little better, because that can pick up more load. Classic Enfield. So if I talk about the pickup, it's a pretty peppy bike. You can see I'm like, just not making that much effort, and it's picking up decently good. So I'll talk about the features a little bit. This has traction control, which is quite good, because you don't get traction control on a lot of motorcycles in this range. So that's one of the cool things that helps you from getting skid and all that. So that's a big advantage it has. Also, it has a ABS, which most of the bikes now have. But the advantage this has, it's a dual ABS. So I mean, like, you can it's got an off-road mode and a road mode. So you can kind of turn it off when you're off-roading. So the front ABS does not shut off, but the back ABS does shut off. So that's a decent advantage that you'll get on this motorcycle. Then if I really talk about the the icing on the cherry, this has a quick shifter. So I'll talk about that a little later once I get out of traffic, because I can't really use a quick shifter here. But logically, it's I can change it after 2000 RPM. And you can see this just goes through the bumps. I have done a very intense off-roading session this weekend on this, but I wasn't carrying my GoPro, so I'll make another video about that. And it was a leopard trail in Gurgaon, where a lot of bikes could not have gone there. I think except Adventure Tourist, nothing would have gone there. It was all stone and sand. So the ground clearance helps. It's 170-180 mm of ground clearance, which is a decent amount of ground clearance. Also, I got around I'll talk about the fuel efficiency later. So you can see it's a pretty peppy bike. Corners pretty well, handles pretty well, and you feel like you're sitting on a much bigger bike than this is, because this is actually bigger. I have a Ducati and XD and a 14R, and this was standing next to them. It did not look like a small bike, which is something I prefer. I don't like small bikes. I find them a little, I mean, I'm used to big bikes, so probably, but this has the feel of a big bike. When you're riding it, you will feel like you're riding a bigger motorcycle. So that's a very cool advantage that you have on this. And overall, if you look at this TFT screen, you do you can connect your phone to it. You can connect your Bluetooth. My Bluetooth is connected, so just in case somebody gives me a call while I'm riding, I don't have to stop down and pick up the call, because nowadays so many telecallers call you. You don't even know who to, whose call to pick up, not to pick up. So that's one advantage. You can just get to know, okay, if somebody important is calling you, you can take that call. and you can connect the Bluetooth to your handset also. So if you pick up the call, it'll come in your handset if you're using earphones or something while riding the bike. So that's the advantage. But if I compare this to an Interceptor which I had booked initially, the cornering is much better than what an Interceptor would offer, because after all this is a KTM, so you can see that corner I've just taken. Fantastic cornering on this motorcycle, fantastic power. I'll also, you know, kind of like the whole I can go through anything, go anywhere kind of attitude that this motorcycle is carrying. Like you see these small bumps, yeah, you can just go through them, no irritation. You can just kind of go up, let the, you know, suspension do its work. That's what it's built for. And I'll put that off-roading video I did. In fact, I was kind of doing it with my friend who has an X-Pulse, so I can do a little comparison of how an X-Pulse versus a KTM 390 on an off-road track. I'll be putting up that video very soon. But as you can see, this bike is fantastic. I like the power delivery, I like the way it looks, I like the way it feels like a big bike. The tires are Metzeler's on these, but which are fantastic tires. These are mostly touring tires, they're not off-road tires, so that's something. I got the Metzeler's. I have heard now all bikes are going to come with the MRFs because they were having some problem importing the tires for this, but these Metzeler's work great. I mean, they are good tires, good grip. And I'll just show you the quick shifter function after this. So like I was talking about the quick shifter function, so this has actually got an auto blipper. Okay, now auto blipper is actually a function where you can, you know, there's a quick shifter and you can shift downshift as well as upshift. Upshift is a quick shifter. Auto blipper means that it's got both functions, so this can upshift as well as downshift. So that means that over 2000 rpm, if I'm revving, you know, I can just change the gear without putting a clutch. This comes in very high-end bikes like sports bikes. Small bikes do not get this function, so I'm very surprised they put it in the KTM. Now I'll just show that function to you. So if you see, I'm going in 4th gear. See my hand, no clutch, 5th gear. You're getting me? so I can downshift as well. Gone back to 4th. Now this traffic is a little slow here, so I'm below 2000 rpm. I can't use it. Again, I'm standing while going on the bumps, and so you see me going on 4th gear. Again, no clutch, 5th gear. And now 6th gear. Again bumps, get up and go straight. Can downshift as well. I can brake a little, downshift to 5th. No clutch required. So if you're in traffic, brake a little, change. Unless you're, you know, going below 2000 rpm, you don't have to use the clutch. And this is some great tech for a, I mean, you only see this in your big bikes like these Ducatis, and even my Ducati doesn't have it. My Panigale had a quick shifter, but I think that's the kind of things you're looking at, right? So that's what I'm talking about. And of course this has a 12-volt charger also. You can see it, it's right here with my hand. Okay, so you can just plug in your phone if you want to put a GPS. This bike has a navigation system installed. I mean, you'll have to pay for it, some Map My India shit. And this Uber guy is a fucking jackass. He could have actually taken a left from there either, but then who gives a shit, right? So let's just check out how the bike corners and all. Just kind of take some corners on this motorcycle. It does pretty well. All in all, it's a great all-round bike. Yeah. I mean, comparing it to the competition, I think the only competition this has is a Himalayan, which I have just taken a test ride of. It's a little low on power. Doesn't really have much features, but yeah, the price point is a little low. That's around 2.44. But there's more of a competition to the, you know, the KTM 250 Adventure more than the 390. Then of course there's the GS, which I've heard has better low-end torque. I just took one ride on it, so I'm not sure. But yeah, but it's the KTM is a better road bike, has more power than that kind of runs out of power in a while. But then if you're a BMW fan and you want a BMW, go and get a BMW. But it really doesn't qualify as a big BMW. It's more like a probably a Harley version of a Street 750, a little cheaper. So you can see again I'm quick shifting everywhere. So basically fantastic. These mirrors are great. Has a navigation, has traction control, 2-level ABS. Oh, I forgot to tell you about something. So taking this cut, I just realized this has cornering ABS as well. Can you fucking believe it? They're giving you cornering ABS. I mean, what do they want? I mean, for 3.7, that makes Enfield a very expensive buy for me. I'll tell you why. Because the Interceptor costs around 3.3, 3.4, does not have alloys, which is another expense of 12k. Does not have any windshield, does not have a leg guard. This comes with a leg guard installed. Does not have a quick shifter, does not have navigation, does not have traction control, does not have a 2-level ABS. Of course that's not an off-roader, so I can at least let that one slide. Does not have a 12-volt charger. Basically, I don't know why you want to spend your money on that. There is a whole probably an Enfield charm, but listen to me, I have owned 5 Harleys. I was into the whole charm thing, Harley Davidson is a Harley Davidson. Bought a fucking Ducati XDR. Don't want to ride a Harley now. You know why? Because I paid for the fucking tech. I want to pay money for what they're giving me. I don't want to pay money just to ride around something which looks good. I used to be like that before. I'm not saying Enfield's a bad bike. If you like the Enfield, please go and buy it. It's your money. And it does look better than this. This looks like a big bike, that looks like a better looking bike, but I don't know, each to his own. So that kind of concludes my review here. And I'll do a top end video once. As you saw, the cornering, it corners really well. So I'll do a top end video once I've completed the running in. I think it's around 6,000 RPM I can take it, which pretty much it goes around 110 or something. I don't take it that fast though. And off-roading, I'll put a video soon, a hardcore off-roading video. But I don't want to put the videos I have now because they don't really make that much sense. Small video, they just goes through the bumps. So I'm not going to make a video like that. I'll put a proper hardcore off-roading video which I done last week. I still have that video to get processed, and then you'll know what this bike can actually do. Also, you can put bags. KTM's tied up with somebody. You can pick up those bags, little costly, 35 grand. So yeah, pretty much. So I think that concludes my review of this user review of the KTM Adventure. Yeah, I'll pick this up over an Interceptor any fucking day because they're actually giving me stuff for the money I'm paying. Don't want to pay for something I'm not getting. So thank you guys and keep subscribing. I'll be putting a Meteor video soon. Bye.